One. Boom. We're back live. Arm Crossfire with SP and Gabi. And before we get into anything, you guys, I just want to say thanks to our sponsors. We have a couple spots available, but right now we say thanks to Garage Door Guys in KC, Brian Kerner, and of course, Arm Assassin Strength Shop. Gabi, I see you got your Arm Assassin you're on right now. And our Patreon members. We have a new member. Stan Scott came in at Elite. And, of course, our Alpha member, Zane William Nisley. So welcome to the show, Mr. Mike Ayello. How are you doing today, sir?
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me, man. Love the show.
Gabi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Mike, are you on Wi-Fi? Your signal seems very strong.
I'm on Wi-Fi, yeah.
Okay, good job. Wow. Nice.
So you're sitting in a vehicle. What kind of vehicle is that?
I'm like in my FDNY fucking 2001 Ford Taurus, like a fucking jerk.
All right. We got Jody Williams already tuning in. Robert Schindler tuning in. So, Mike, when I asked you to come on the show and I said, what do you want to talk about? And you said you want to talk about drugs.
Yes.
So what do you want to talk about?
That Jody Williams is on fucking a ton of juice. No, no one ever really talks about, the drug aspect of the game, and it's a huge thing. I mean, personally, I get like a message every day, almost every day, from the guy just starting out amateur up until the top elite guys in the sport about what cycles they're going to do. And, what should I do? And they always ask my opinion, and I'm like writing cycles for guys. And it's crazy what guys are doing. Like I'm like, well, what's your cycle now? And we'll try to work it out. And they'll run down like a list of like a cocktail of ridiculous. I'm like, bro, you're like this, and a crazy milligrams, things that don't even go together that are just completely toxic. And I'm like, why are you doing that much drugs? Like, you don't really need to do that much. I mean, obviously it plays a huge role, but yeah, guys hit me up all the time about it, and I'm like, wow, it's just, I mean, I can name more guys. I mean, more guys like that I know off, like who are actually not doing it than doing it. It's just fucking crazy.
So does it come down to just guys not knowing what they want to do and just doing whatever they can get?
Yeah, they'll just do like a whole cocktail. Like, yeah, I'm on 1,000 milligrams of test, 800 milligrams of Tren, 100 milligrams of Anadrol a day, Deca. They'll name like 3 different orals that they're doing. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, your liver's gonna fall on the floor. Like,
yeah, they're also getting their cycle from their gym guy who doesn't know what they need for arm wrestling, right? An arm wrestling cycle and a bodybuilding or powerlifting cycle are not even closely remotely similar, and they don't know any different. That's why it's good to have a guy or a voice in arm wrestling who's an elite arm wrestler who says this is exactly what you need for arm wrestling. But we don't have a guy like that, and if we do, he's not very vocal. You're vocal, but other than that, it's a short list.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's listening, if they want to know, like, if they want to hit me up, obviously I would never tell anybody, anyone's information or anyone's personal things. But if you're going to make that conscious decision to, as an adult, to do a cycle, if you have any, if you want to hit me up, let me know. I'm not a doctor, obviously. It's all bro science and a lot of experience, but I've worked with a lot of professional bodybuilders over the years. I've been doing it for 20 years. So, if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm not condoning anyone to do it. But again, if you're going to make that decision to do it, at least try to be as safe as possible,
Ryan and I had a debate and even a bet on it, and maybe you could help us with this. How long has Jonathan Laba been on drugs? Over a decade or under a decade?
He's a garbage can. No, I love that guy. He is a fucking pisser. I can't wait for that bottom 8.
Well, it's going to be good. That guy, he's arm wrestling.
Oh my god, what is that guy?
Yeah, I don't know where he came from.
That guy's out of his mind.
So guys are coming to you. What makes them assume that you're doing anything, Mike?
That's what I mean. Yeah, they never ask me about arm wrestling. They're like, oh, he sucks at arm wrestling, but I'll ask him about a cycle, I guess.
Well,
or diet. A lot of things with diet as well. Like, you know, what kind of diet do you do, and you know, what foods do you eat and stuff like that. But everyone has different metabolisms, and you know, what may work for me may not work for you. So
now, do you find that the stigma around performance enhancement is changing?
yeah, a lot more guys are doing it. You know, I got 20-year-old kids. Like, they think that like I do trend, and so like, oh, should I do trend? I want to look like you, and like they just like they're like amateurs from like Delaware who come in 4th place in like a state tournament. I'm like, dude, you're a kid. Do not do Trenbolone. Like, you know, I make jokes about it. I on Instagram, and I post, you know, funny memes and stuff, and people think that like, you know, a 19, 20-year-old kid should be doing drugs. I'm like, you're out of your mind, bro.
Yeah, there's definitely.
But yeah, it's I mean, it's crazy the amount of arm wrestlers that are doing it. It's just it's you know, from the guys who you obviously know who are doing it to like the good guys, you know, the Jesus freaks and stuff like that who are all doing it. You know, listen, it's a strength sport. I mean, you know, the reason why people do it is because it works. You know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What percentage, Mike? What percentage of, let's say, pro level arm wrestlers, or even like tier 4s or 5s? What level, or what percentage do you think are on it? And do you think there's a larger percentage of the amateurs or a larger percentage of the pros?
Pros, absolutely. At the elite level, forget it. I mean, I think it's everybody.
Okay.
80%, I would say. I know hundreds of arm wrestlers. I've pulled in every state. Been in the game for 11 years. I mean, I've trained with every team. You know, there's a handful of guys that like don't do it. Like, you know, you got like the Tom Nelsons and the fucking, you know, Joshua Gustin Grant and the fucking, you know, Jamie Sheldons and stuff like that. But you know, there's like, I can name guys on like 2 hands how many guys don't do it. You know.
So do you think
Jamie Sheldon?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The natural.
The Nat Fit.
The natural.
Good cover. Don't buy it.
We do you think people can still be competitive at in the pro leagues without it?
There's that 1%, I think, that can, you know, do without it. Like I said, like Tom Nelson. He's a natural guy, super strong, great arm wrestler, and he was beating enhanced guys for years, including myself. But yeah, there's those guys who are just God's gift to arm wrestling. They were born with really good connective tissue and, you know, ligaments and tendons that are just freaky, that can really just pull with guys who are enhanced. Again, it's only an enhancement if you do take it. I mean, if you're a shitty arm wrestler and you take a ton of juice, you're just going to be a bigger shitty arm wrestler. It's not going to really make you, you know, you have to, like I said, like, let's say again, back to Tom Nelson, you take a guy like that who was natural his whole career. Now you enhance him now on 600 milligrams of test and halo testing and some DECA. He's going to the top 8. And not only that, he's probably going to win it. Like, that's, you know, like that's who would really benefit from a cycle, like a guy like that, you know. But guys who just rely on it's really not going to really help you.
It's interesting you mentioned DECA, because I was testing DECA. DECA has such a high collagen synthesis increase. It's ideal for arm wrestling. You know, that's really why I think what you need to look for when you're looking at an arm wrestling cycle is something that increases collagen synthesis.
Yeah.
And also test also, but yeah, I see guys going on Winstrol and stuff, and I'm like,
that's the worst thing to do.
Thins out your
it dries you right out. You'll wind up hurt. They wind up snapping your elbow.
Yeah, there's correlation between guys taking bad cycles and injuries, right? There's got to be a direct correlation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, NPP is even better than DECA. It's a faster acting ester, which gets right into your bloodstream.
You're talking equipoise?
No, NPP.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's basically DECA, but it's a very fast acting DECA. DECA takes a little longer to get into your system and come out of your system. This is in and out, so that's a really good drug.
Do you ever wonder when a guy goes to Waffer and he gets tested? Do you ever realize that he just doesn't understand the drugs he was on or how to cycle off? I mean, it's insane. Like, they don't.
You mean the guys that get caught, Gobby?
Yeah, right.
You can run stuff 6 months out, 4 months out. You can be running suspension 3 days
Right.
out, test suspension,
Exactly.
2 days out. You can inject, you can run 10, suspension.
Propionate.
Yeah, I mean, and then not be tested. It's unreal. I don't understand
Yeah.
how guys get tested. They just don't understand.
I had a guy call me. He was going to the Worlds, and he called me from the airport, going there, and he goes, "Oh, what happens if I get tested? I'm on this, that, and the other thing." I go, "Now you call me and ask me?" I go, "Dude, you're going to be there in 12 hours." Like, but yeah, guys are just,
Well, that was my next question. I mean, there's certainly ways around failing a drug test. I mean,
yeah, it's actually very easy to pass it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
especially when you're looking at something like growth, where they basically isn't it a blood test they have to do to even
right.
Yeah,
which they're not going to do.
Right.
They're just going to test you.
But then you see, and I'm going to use Levon as an example. You see Levon at the World Championship at WAF
God.
in Turkey, and you see him right now. He is not the same guy.
He's a monstrosity, dude.
He looks
like he's photoshopped.
Yeah. So, what do you think is happening there? Is there just a cleaning out because you don't want to dare test positive for anything, or is there? Because I've seen guys that are obviously that I know are enhanced, and they lose 40 pounds before WAF championships.
Right.
So, are guys just making sure, or what do you think's going on there?
That could be it. I mean, they don't fuck around. Well, WAF doesn't really fuck around with that. Because if he gets suspended, I mean, he's screwed. So, and he's the top guy.
And I mean, Russians got caught so much.
The whole list is Russia. Yeah, it's from either Georgia or Russia.
How is that happening with the coaching they have?
Right.
They have it got to the point where WAF stopped punishing the arm wrestler and started punishing the actual national organization because so many of their athletes were testing positive for something.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just running probably long esters like a testosterone cypionate or an enanthate or a sustanon where it just stays in your blood too long. They're not running the right drugs.
Like I'll tell you the story when I was in Japan in 2005, and ironically, I actually found the old drug test form. I have it right sitting next to me here. When they tested me, there it is right there. They tested me in 2005, and I sat next to Artem Klemenko as he was being tested, and he got busted for 3 different things.
Wow.
And that was the end of his arm wrestling career because
I was going to say it sucks after that. I mean,
he never came back. He tried to arm wrestle for the next year, and every time he arm wrestled in a tournament, they renewed the suspension. They started it over.
Really?
So he never got off suspension. Well, I guess he's off suspension now, but by the time he got there, he basically just stopped. And I saw him at the Arnold's a few years after that, and he was skinny as a rail, working for some Russian television station.
That's like that guy. What's his name? That Russian kid that gained like 80 pounds and destroyed everybody. Arsen Liliev. Remember that guy?
Yeah. Whatever happened?
He was a freak. He was like 170. Then he went to like 270. And now he's like a regular guy. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
Man, you got a lot of fans in the comments section here, Mike. Ayello is my favorite natural tennis player.
See, that's funny.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. What else do you want to talk about on this particular issue?
I just got a call from actually driving here. Jamie from WAL just called me, so he's going to tell me, I guess, my match this year. I'm obviously not in LA, the first one, which is like April 23rd. They already have the matches set up for that one, but he's like, it's either going to be 602, 603, or whatever it is. So I don't know who it is. I don't know, which one, but I definitely have a match this year, so that's good.
Now, is it going to be a real competitor, or is it going to be
no more juju matches? Yeah,
no more gimmick matches, or
I don't really, unless it's a real match, I'm not doing that shit no more. It's just you look like an idiot after a while. I mean, Juji's a great guy. I had a good time. It was fun, But I mean, I don't want to be like, typecasted as like the jerk off, hey, send the arm wrestling monkey into fucking arm wrestle, Larry Wheels and shit,
That's what I was going to suggest is maybe Larry
Yeah,
Wheels.
it's like, come on.
Now, I don't know if you can answer this, Mike, but did you kind of throw a match, or did Wall ask you to wink, wink, throw a match?
Oh, for Juji?
Yeah.
We discussed it before. I mean, I'll talk about it. I don't give a shit. Whenever people ask me, I shoot this shit right. Yeah, he's like, dude, before we do this, you mind if I win one? I'm like, no one's gonna believe you. It's fucking bullshit. I go, you know who you're pulling? Nah. Yeah. So we did it was 2-1 or whatever it was. Just to be it was actually more more TV time. Going back and forth and stuff. He was a cool dude.
I actually pulled him on the practice table. He's not as weak as people assumed he is.
No, he's not horrendous. Yeah,
no.
He's just not an arm wrestler. He's
No.
Somebody just suggested that you and I should pull Mike. That it would be an awesome match. I agree. It has always been an awesome match,
dude. In 2011, when we pulled at the World Police Fire Games, it was awesome. That was a great time.
Yeah,
because I won.
It was even better a few years later when we did it in Chicago.
That was a great match, man.
So, Ryan, in 2011, did you take Mike lightly?
No, man.
Dude, you were like 340. You were fucking gigantic. I saw Ryan walk in. I go, holy shit. He had like fucking 35-inch quads. I go, what the fuck is that guy?
And you weren't 270 in 2011, were you?
No, I was much smaller. I think I was about 250. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I was actually heavier. I think that was before I lost all that weight. So when I went to World Police and Fire Games, I think I was 388.
Holy shit. Yeah, you were a monster, dude.
And people are talking shit in the comment section. But we were I didn't take him lightly at all, man. I thought that was going to be a great match, and something about the way that Mike sets up makes it incredibly hard for me to top roll him. So I end up trying to just go right inside, and that's what I did when we pulled in whatever that little town outside Chicago is that we had the regionals.
Dude, you had a great day. You beat Jerry Cataret. You destroyed everybody that day.
It was a good day.
Righty and lefty. I mean, you were fucking on fire.
Yeah. I was fucking impressed. For me, you were a tier 3, arguably a 4. But when you dusted Carnegie, I mean, I don't know, man. It's. I think you're one of the hardest guys to roll. The way you're so high and you drive down and in, and you have good wrist flexion.
If I get there.
Yeah. When was the last time you were rolled? Like who's the last guy?
You know who fucking destroyed me, and who's probably the most underrated arm wrestler? Robbie Burnett.
Yeah,
dude,
he's fucking good.
He's a fucking great arm wrestler, dude. I love the guy. He's like, we talk every once in a while. Great guy, a sick top roller. What I have to start doing now, instead of going right into a hook, just maybe stop up top first, stop the rotation, and then drag in, like how like Ron Bath beats Matt Mask. Yeah. He doesn't go right into a hook. He stops the rotation, and then fucking drags him in.
Yeah, Robbie's super underrated. Like, he's super underrated. He doesn't pull huge stuff, but when he comes out, he just demolishes.
Yeah, he can go outside, inside. I mean, he's very versatile. He's a strong kid, man.
Yeah,
he beat me twice. He beat me legit. I'm pulling Matt Mask in Red Deer in his hometown in August 8th. So I gotta.
Right on. Yeah, I'm pulling at that event too.
Oh, that's gonna be, dude. Everyone's coming to that thing. I was like,
that's gonna be the biggest gathering of arm wrestlers since Over the Top.
You know who else is really good? Who no one really knows about? Blake Perry. I'm pulling him at the Battle of the Badges in St. Louis. That guy HD Hidalgo and those guys. They throw a sick tournament down there. That guy, he's like 6'7", like 350, and his hook is ridiculous.
Somebody was just asking about that match in the comments.
Big dude. Yeah, he's a big dude, man. You know what it is? A lot of guys. There's a lot of like hidden guys that no one really knows about. Like Blake, I guess he's got twin babies at home. He's a cop. I guess he can't travel that much, so he stays like in Tennessee and like the South area. But he'll fuck shit up, that guy, man. If I took him lightly. Not that I took him lightly. I knew he was strong, but like he fucking brought me right the fuck over. I was like, whoa, sick hook. That's going to be a great tournament, too.
So you don't have anything confirmed for W. I talked to Jamie last week too, but I do not have anything for 601 either.
He's literally calling me back in like an hour. I just got a text. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are you going to ask for?
They were talking about that Swedish kid, Tobias Sparong, whatever his name is. That kid with the headband. It looks like a tennis player. He looks pretty legit though. He did really well at Slotty. He pulls just like Matt, that low top roll, super explosive. So maybe him. I'm not really sure.
Question from the comments section. Ask Mike if he thinks Dave Chafee is weaker today than 6 years ago when they pulled at WOL Atlantic City.
Dave's probably, besides what was that Russian guy that passed away? I can't think of his name right now. I don't know why. Pushkar. Those are the two strongest human beings I've ever pulled them. Like, when you pull someone and you had no chance whatsoever, you're like, whoa, like I have no shot here. That's when you pull Dave. That's how I felt. And when I pulled him, Dave is just ridiculous. I think he's back to where he was a couple of years ago, and I think he's going to do really well against Levon and those guys.
Right on. So he's got Levon.
Oh, he's got it's confirmed. Okay.
First round.
Oof.
How do you see that going?
Obviously rooting for Dave. I mean, if you don't like Dave Chafee, you're an asshole. I mean, the guy he's such a guy. Yeah. He's such a sweet guy. If he gets in, where he wants to be, Levon just so friggin', his rotation's ridiculous. His pronator, he's so fast. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's definitely interesting. And we only have 2 days we have to wait until we hear. Now, are they announcing the whole season or just 601?
I think they're just doing 601 for now.
Right, but are they?
And then I guess next month they start letting everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't know that right now. We'd have a lot.
I know, right? I want to know exactly when and who, like immediately.
Yeah. Gobby, what do you got there?
Mike, what the fuck happened to Bob Bigwood?
Yeah.
Right off the face of the earth.
I know. He had a baby.
Okay.
And I guess he's just busy with work and stuff. He texts me every once in a while. He's like, I want to get back into training. I want to, tell me when you guys are going to practice. Then I'll tell him, and he doesn't show up. I love Rob. We talk all the time. And I guess he's just busy with the baby and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, he was good. He was just left fucking serious.
Yeah, he's not bad.
That is interesting. Last time I talked to him, he was trying to convince me to be a vegan.
He had me try a lot of that shit. So it was actually not bad, but I'm like, I eat meat every fucking meal.
Jamie Sheldon says dates, locations of entire season, and next week they announced the 601 card. So,
okay.
Hey, Jamie, I'm glad you didn't tune in earlier to hear what Gobby said about you.
Fucking Sheldon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tough. I mean, some guys, especially in their mid-20s, late 20s, they easily could be on something, or they could not be on something. I mean, naturally, with high levels of natural testosterone, you can do amazing shit. Like, people downplay, but I mean, you can do some incredible shit. I mean, when I was on stuff, I was nowhere as strong. Now, I wasn't taking massive cycles. I was nowhere as strong as when I was natural at 33, 34, 35, 36.
Yeah.
Early 30s, late 20s. I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, obviously, you can substitute natural levels, but I don't know. When I see a guy and people are like, "Well, he's got to be on it. He's 26, 27, making great gains." I don't know, man. He could easily be on it, but he can easily not be on it.
Exactly right.
It's when a guy's 47, 48, and making insane gains, right? Then you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah."
Yeah, I mean, when you're at that age, I mean, I'm 42. I mean, your natural testosterone takes a dive about 30%. I mean. Yeah. At best, I mean, you should be doing a TRT therapy at least. I mean, just for, forget about arm wrestling, just in general life. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
So as far as the drug testing issue, just to close that up a little bit, like, do you see it actually being something that's valuable in the sport? Like, does it actually level the playing field at all? No,
because guys will get around it. Everyone's doing it, and it'll just fuck everything up. It's like testing a bodybuilding show. Like, why are you going to do that? Everyone's doing it. I guess to legitimize the sport, maybe for sponsors and stuff. That would probably be when you get major sponsors, like, well, these guys on drugs because I don't want to sponsor, So that would probably be the only reason why, like a major league would do it.
Now, what if it was just, for example, USADA testing, where they can show up and make you a test at a moment's notice? Is there value in that?
I mean, then what? Let's say your top guy, 2 guys now test positive. Now what the fuck do you do?
Well, there's that old story about John Jones hiding underneath the cage in the practice room until they went
right. That's fucking great.
Yeah, just stop testing altogether, man.
Just stop testing. I mean, give me a break.
Well, what about the laws? Like, you're in New York. What are the laws in New York, or is it something that's nationally controlled about performance-enhancing drugs?
There's hormone therapy doctors on every corner in New York. I mean, as long as your blood work shows up okay, they'll write you up a script for 200 milligrams of testosterone. You have to be under a certain number. If I think it's under like 500 maybe, they'll write you up a script.
See, in Canada, it's a little different. I mean, it's legal to possess even stuff you get wherever, but it's the doctor thing is something that's not really. I've never heard of a doctor in Manitoba doing that for anybody.
Wow.
It's common in Quebec. If your numbers are low and you're, obviously age dependent and your numbers are low, a doctor will prescribe, like he said, not 800 milligrams, but he'll prescribe. They even do it. They started doing like this gel stuff, and it didn't really work. Now it's injection. It's usually 200 a sip.
Yeah.
And they retest you every 3 or 6 months to make sure, and they'll play with the dosages. But yeah, in Quebec, it's not as common as the United States, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah, it's huge out here. I know 3 or 4 doctors just in Long Island where I live that do it. Again, as long as your numbers are okay, legally they can do it.
Yeah, I find it talking about a stigma. It's somewhat ironic because if you wanted to desperately prolong the life of men, and you would actually, if that was your scientific goal, you would actually after 40 start prescribing low dosages of test. Only because, so people are like, oh man, he's on drugs, he's going to die soon. Yeah, if you take the wrong shit and you take too much, but like Tylenol, right? Tylenol's legal. You take a whole bottle, you're fucking done. So much of it is based on moderation and age. I've had 19-year-olds come up to me and say, I need to go on a cycle. You're a fucking idiot. Like you're one of the guys going to end up in a hospital with a fucking
exactly. It's like you're going to wreck yourself, dude. Yeah.
With tons of natural levels. The last thing I've told guys, before 37, 38, you shouldn't even be touching stuff. 35,
right.
37. But people want to get jacked. People want to get big, whatever.
Yeah, they want to see instant results, and I understand.
Yeah, but the guys at the top generally stay the guys at the top, regardless of who's jumping on enhancement.
Yeah.
With the odd guy that infiltrates that, like Levon, come on the last few years, and now he's the man. Yeah,
that guy's a freak, man.
Yeah, and I'll say while he's juicing, he's not the man because he's juicing.
No, he was
like
great
Mike
before.
Said. Yeah, like Mike said, it gives you an edge. It gives everyone a little bit of an edge, but it's not taking a fucking shitty arm wrestler and making him a stud.
Exactly.
Not doing any of that. No, for sure.
Well, I mean, I grew up with some guys that got on some gear and didn't lift weights. They just did aggression and maybe I don't know what.
Right.
They sure didn't take advantage of what they were on. They just a lot
of guys are like, I want to lose body fat and I want to lose weight, and like I go, what should I take? I go cardio and diet. I'm like, steroids only build muscle and strength. Even if it's Anavar, guys like, I want to get shredded, I'm going to take Anavar. I go, that doesn't get you shredded, bro. Like, people have no clue what's going on. It's really
clenbuterol would help with that, wouldn't it? Wouldn't
clenbuterol? That's like that's not even a steroid.
Okay.
It's mildly anabolic, and you get it from the veterinarian.
Okay.
I felt like shit on that, man. I felt like I got like anxiety. I was like dripping wet, doing nothing, just pouring sweat. shaking. I'm like, this stuff sucks.
You must know Travis Robinson. You must love that guy. You must know him. No?
Travis, do I know him? I don't know.
For Alabama, big drug guy, big motherfucker. Arm wrestled for a bit, tore his bicep, then walked away from the sport.
I probably, if I saw him on Facebook, I probably know him.
I asked him once, I said, what do you think of equipoise and tests for an arm wrestling cycle? He says, I use equipoise for my bicycle chain. Like he's like, no designer drugs. He hated Anavar, equipoise. He hated the designer shit. He loved Deca, D-ball, test, everything in the base.
Like that 1980 cycle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that Bill Kazmaier fucking cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we were talking a little bit before the show about my pre-workout review I did on the Freak Juice.
Oh, God, that stuff was fucking... Dude, that was amazing, that stuff.
Now, yeah, it's an old YouTube video I did when Boston Lloyd came out with the Freak Juice with the DMT in it. Didn't it have DMT in it?
I had something that obviously is illegal.
It was hallucinogenic, wasn't it?
Dude, I would take a scoop and I was like, I did friggin' legs, arms, shoulders, and back in one day. You know? And then I painted the house. That stuff was amazing.
I was working in a jail at the time, and I had it in there, and there was a few of the guys that worked out of the office, the response team, were taking it, and man, they were running everywhere. Those kids were
like fucking cocaine.
Scared to death.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah, all the pre-workouts now. I mean, it's all watered down, I think, but.
Well, it's terrible. Like I also told you about going to the Arnold's and getting those andro poppers that. Yeah. They were. You might as well have been taking gear.
I was going to say it's probably freaking D-ball. Yeah.
Yeah. So we picked it all up for $5 a bottle and brought it back and sold it for $50 a bottle.
That's awesome.
So what do you got next? What's on the agenda for Mike Ayello? Besides waiting for Jamie's call from WAL.
I have the Keystone States April 11th. The Paul Lynn tournament. I always go up there. Paul is the best. I love the guy. Him and James Reed, they throw a great tournament. I think it was like 300 people that showed up last year, so it's always a good tournament. In June, I have Blake Perry at St. Louis. August, I have Matt Mask, and then I guess WAL in between there, wherever it's going to be. And in September, I want to do the Worlds. So,
is that right?
I'm waiting for Sean Hancock to get for like a Northeast qualifier. I don't want to fly to Reno, Nevada. I don't want to fly to. I mean, it's either Reno, Alabama, or Kentucky. It's like a pain in the ass. I'm like, dude, can you get one in like Boston or some? You know what I mean? Like, so I could just drive over. So he's working.
I'm interested that you said you want to go to the Worlds September in Orlando.
Yeah, the IFA.
Do you think you're going to get tested?
It's a possibility. I mean, yeah. Once they see me, because I'm going to be ridiculous when I go down. Test that guy. Yeah. I mean, go ahead. It's try to catch me.
They probably will. No, I'm just.
But when they see this video, they're going to be like, "All right, now game on."
Yeah, I think they're going to try, but that's my plan as well, to go to the Worlds in Orlando.
That's going to be sick. I mean, you know what's going to suck about it though? It's like an open qualifier. All you got to do is show up, and then you go to the Worlds. So there's going to be like 50 people per class.
Yeah.
Every fucking jerk off arm wrestler is going to show up there. I mean, why not?
Well, that'll get cleaned up a lot, but yeah, it's going to be a long time before we even.
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it. I mean, it's all the entry fees. I mean, they're going to make a lot of money. It's the first year. I understand.
Yeah, we're just growing a new organization, and I think it's going to be awesome. Bobby, are you coming or not?
Oh, I'm always last minute thing. Well, not last minute, but I don't plan too much in advance. But yeah, it would be nice. I mean, I drive it, right? It's why not? It's not that bad. Yeah.
No, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
And of course, Red Deer is going to be amazing.
Oh my God, dude! I think there's 10 super matches, and then the tournament after. So that's going to be insane.
I think there's more than 10. Like,
is there more than 10?
I've lost track of them because they've got super matches on the Friday night.
Shit.
And they've got some Iranian guy is I might have let the cat out of the bag on that one. But this guy is coming, and he wanted a super match on the Friday, and I said I would do it. So they're thinking about that. But the next day, I've also got the 4-way with Travis, Robbie.
And that's right. That 4-way looks sick, dude. With Topi and all those guys.
Yeah,
that's gonna be sick, dude. Who is it? It's you, Travis, Topi, and who else?
Paul Passmore.
Oh.
So it was supposed to be me and Passmore in a match. Travis ended up deciding to, or being convinced to come. So he's pulling Robbie, and I'm pulling Passmore, and then the two winners go against each other. And I guess the two losers will go against each other as well and pull off for third and fourth. But Robbie's sounding pretty confident that he's going to get by Travis.
Dude, he's on fire right now. I mean, he's a super strong kid. I love Robbie. He's awesome. I want to see him pull Cody Merritt, lefty. Cody looks pretty solid. His left is fucking solid, man.
Yeah, Cody's a really, really good.
Failed drug test and all.
Cody's actually going to come on the show and talk about that a little bit in the future. So
he's a good dude, man.
It's an unfortunate situation, and I think it's a little bit unfair what happened to him. Like I don't think he intended to go in there enhanced or anything like that. But I'll let him tell his story when he comes on.
Yeah, he was telling me on the phone. I mean, I'm not going to discuss his personal information, but yeah, let him talk about it. But yeah, that sucks. Do they strip you of your title if you fail? I mean,
I don't have an update from Cody on that yet. But if you do fail, they take away your title.
Wow,
they take away your medals and they give it to the next guy. We lost Gobby, but that's okay.
Thank God I can't stare at his fucking face anymore.
Can you see me now?
I don't. No, I just have a blank screen. I'm looking at myself, and that's beautiful.
Okay. That's okay too. No, I think they take away your title and they suspend you for a year. I think for the first time, but I don't know if that's a final thing for him or not. I think he's waiting on an answer from WAF.
Wow, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it does, because you basically, like, let's just talk in general terms. If you get caught, you don't necessarily end up you get suspended for a year. If you arm wrestle within that year, your suspension starts over, and then you can actually, there might be consequences to the organization that you're arm wrestling in.
Interesting.
So it's a tough thing to get around.
Yeah, that sucks, man. It sucks because you got caught, and the other fucking 60 guys that you fucking pulled are all enhanced.
Well, I mean, that's just it. I mean, it was an interesting situation because when we went to Moldova, you have Georgie arm wrestling Travis.
Yes.
And the results hadn't come back yet. And then Georgie
popped,
failed the drug test. He only had a silver medal. He got beat by Levon. But it was gone. And
I remember Saban he got caught too.
Yeah.
A kid from maybe, yeah.
So I think that was silver and bronze. Both got caught.
That sucks, man. That whole trip. I mean, it's expensive to get there. You've been training it, for months, and the whole thing is down the drain. It sucks.
Yeah. Here's the question from the comments. In a perfect world where it would be 100% regulated, would it be better to have drug-free arm wrestling?
Listen, if everyone's going to be, if that's the case, I mean, I wish everybody did go natural, and I would be enhanced and beat everybody. Everybody speak for themselves, yeah. Why not be enhanced and compete at a super high level? I mean, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? I don't know. I hate being a regular guy. It's the fucking worst. Be enhanced. Walk around like a fucking mutant and fucking be bigger and stronger than everybody else. I don't know. I hate being like that. I'm not that dad that walks around with New Balance sneakers on and shops at Kohl's and shit. I have to be like different. I have to, I look at other dads. I'm like, these guys suck. But Yeah, I mean, why not be enhanced, man? Fucking perform at a fucking super high level at everything.
I find it fucking ironic because a sport that struggles to stand on its own, the theory that you can, the cost of testing everyone legit would be so crazy. You might as well if you had that money, you take that money, you just pay money to the top guys, and the sport could be more legitimized that way. The fact that you prevent that by trying to create an equal playing field, and I got news for you, you can never ever
No.
create an equal playing field. Even if you think you have, you haven't. So put all the money, give it to the pullers, give them an incentive to pull and train, and test nobody. That's your equal playing field. That is your equal playing field.
Testing in arm wrestling is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, there's a comment that says naturally strong killer is way more respected than a juiced winner. But I mean,
listen, I agree. If I give the utmost respect to guys who are natural and perform at a level that guys are enhanced at, that's amazing. You know, I know natural bodybuilders that like I train in the gym. Like there's a black kid in my gym that I train with. He looks like he's ready for a magazine. I mean, his fucking traps are like touching his ears. He's got like 20-inch arms and he's natural. He has no clue what he's even doing with food, or he doesn't even know what D-ball is. The kid just a freak, and I'm like, I give that kid the utmost. I mean, he trains his balls off, and you know, even like again, like the natural guys that I've pulled that are super strong, like you know Tom Nelson and those guys. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Good for you, man. I suck natural. Fuck that.
It is what it is, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I wasn't really born with the best genetics, man. I got to do what I got to do.
So how long have you been? Well, I mean, what do you do? Like you're talking pretty openly about it. Like, are you cycling on and off, or are you on something all the time? Or
I've been off. I actually don't. I clean out for about 3 months. I haven't actually touched a weight up until about last week. I take about 3 or 4 months, and I don't do shit. Like I don't go to the gym, no diet, no nothing. Because 9 months out of the year, I don't miss a meal. All my meals are weighed out. I bring my food to weddings, to barbecues. You know, if it's not my cheat day, I don't cheat. And it caused a problem at home. Like, you know, if it's like, you know, my wife's cooking and I'm sitting there with my Tupperware and I'm, you know, eating friggin' asparagus and chicken. You know, it's kind of, you get like disconnected from the family. You know, and it causes problems and it's very selfish. So I take 3-4 months out of the year and I don't do shit. I'm like a regular guy, and you know, just try to fucking heal up the whole body and shit.
Let me ask you, because you eat like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But how strong could you get if you abandoned that, upped your caloric intake, and came in looking a whole lot more puffy than you are?
Right. Well, I do a low carb, low fat, high protein diet. Starting Thursday night, Friday, I shitload. Like I'm at IHOP. Like when I fly into a tournament or drive, whatever, I hit IHOP. I have, you know, a big thing of chocolate chip pancakes, you know, double cheeseburger with, you know, bacon cheeseburger, French fries, and I'll eat the whole day. I'll have like 10,000 calories. Even Saturday morning, I wake up early. I have, you know, a whole bunch of shit. So I'll shitload, you know, about 24 to 30 hours out of the tournament, and I just swell up, like my hands, my wrists. I gain about 7 pounds. So that usually works for me. I don't like diet all the way through to a tournament. Before a tournament, I completely carb load like a maniac.
Right.
But if you sat at 300 pounds for 8 months and trained power and arm wrestling, wouldn't you be a tier better? Wouldn't?
Yes, I think I would. I mean, if I took arm wrestling a lot more serious, I mean, I do train arm wrestling in the gym and at home and stuff like that. I go to practice, but if like Matt Mask and Devin and those guys, they don't work out. Everything's arm wrestling. I got up to about 295 pounds last year, but I just felt terrible. Like I was like lethargic. I was just out of breath tying my shoes. And I just felt horrible. So, I mean, I like to be around 270, 272, you know, completely shredded.
Interesting. So there's a question. Do you think drugs help as much as arm wrestling as they do in powerlifting?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you start. I mean, if you're taking tests with, again, Decker, and then 5 weeks, 6 weeks out, start 30 milligrams of Halo testing, your strength will go through the roof. I mean, that's night and day. For powerlifting and arm wrestling, it's both a restrained sport. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean, where do you get the motivation? Like, you just want to feel good, but that's why you stay so lean all the time.
Yeah, I just like to look that way. It's the clothes I wear. It's the way I like to look. I hate I hate being out of shape. I don't mind eating ground turkey and asparagus every single meal. If that's what it takes to be shredded and have abs and have a 32-inch waist at 275 pounds, that's what I got to do. And it's nice to look the part. When you're playing and stuff. I mean, WAL likes it.
Yeah, WAL definitely likes it.
Yeah, I got a question. Sorry, go ahead.
No, give her, Gobby.
You're obviously a type A personality, obsessive. Question. I've seen interactions and photos with you and your boys. When you go out with your boys, does any of that roll off on them? Like, are you like, put that ice cream down, don't fucking eat that, or are you liberal and let them do what they want and live the way they want to do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my friends work out. Like, we're all that Guido douchebag, bodybuilder kind of guy. But I'm Laba. On the way back from a tournament, he stops at Burger King every time. He don't give a fuck. He's like, let me get 4 chicken sandwiches and heavy mayo. And he's freaking, he's driving home from Pennsylvania and his mayonnaise dripping on his fucking lap. And I'm looking at him like, you are a fucking savage. But yeah, I mean, whatever it is. I mean, if people want to, eat whatever they want, I don't give a shit.
Especially I mean, by boys, I meant your sons.
Oh, my sons. They meant like my boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't buy any soda at the house. They only drink soda like at a party or something. I try to explain to them, what healthy food is and be conscious of what you're eating. I mean, if you want to fucking, if you want a candy bar once in a while, absolutely, go ahead, bro. You're a kid. I don't want to be a fucking asshole. But for the most part, we cook. My wife cooks, pretty healthy. We're not frying chicken cutlets every night and pork chops, but we try to keep it, somewhat healthy.
Nice.
Yeah. Does Laba even train?
No. He's got like the arm wrestling skill of like a fly and fucking the personality of he's phenomenal. I mean, I think he's terrific. I love the kid. Terrible arm wrestler, but
can he beat that weirdo that he's got the super match with?
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna smoke that guy. But he'll lose to like Artem, at 160 pounds. Actually, Artem's a really good arm wrestler. I shouldn't say it.
Well, Artem is a good arm. Is Artem in the bottom 8?
His left is serious, dude. That fucking Russian prick.
Yeah. So
I don't think he's allowed back. Is Ryan going to be in it? I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. I don't know if Ryan. He's in the comments section. Ryan, are you coming to the bottom? Are you going to be in the bottom 8? I'm not paying. I've watched some of the stuff that Devin's putting out on it, and it's because it's entertaining.
It's fucking great.
I heard Larry Wheels is going. Is that a true story or not?
Larry Steels.
Larry, is he going? Do you know about that?
Yeah. Larry Wheels, Juji, fucking Laba. It's going to be like a silly. I can't wait. I'm thinking about going, just driving up, just to hang out and just watch the silliness.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Ryan Bowen is going. He says yes, and he'll be pulling John Milne. And yes, Larry is going.
Wow.
So, John Milne, if he's training, I don't know if he's got anything for Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to pick you to win. So
yeah, Ryan, I'll never bet against Ryan Bowen ever again. That kid can fucking arm wrestle.
No, I apologize for my lack of insight in my prediction when you arm wrestled Chance Shaw and
that was a cool. Yeah, that kid's fucking legit, man. Ryan can arm wrestle. He's really good.
Yeah. So, bottom 8's coming up. It's going to be entertaining.
That's going to be fun. I can't watch that.
Yeah. Gobby, what you got?
Oh man, if John Milne, he knows how to cycle. If he's motivated and cycles right, and he's notoriously, in his prime, he's notoriously very, very hard to roll. he really gets that high hook in. I don't think he's out of this. Like, Ryan's definitely a favorite. He's more popular. John's coming out of a semi-retirement, but I don't know, man. If John's in top form or even something close to remotely what he was, and John has a wicked hook. John's hard to roll.
Yeah.
It all depends on how motivated he is. Now, he came out of retirement for this, so I have to believe he's taking it serious. I don't know, man.
Yeah, John's been around. He's been around a long time.
I mean, he took a bad loss to Brendan, and that's what pretty much pushed him into retirement. But even those matches were tight, long matches. And I don't believe Ryan Bowen gives Brendan tight, long matches. I believe Brendan beats him fairly.
You think so?
Yeah. He does everything Ryan does, except he's a little bit stronger, a little bit taller, a little bit longer. I give him the advantage. And John,
great head.
Yeah, the best adjustments in the game. Like he's
very, very technical.
Never, ever out of an arm wrestling match. Never gets beaten because of arm wrestling or a lack of arm wrestling acumen. Just loses to power. So I don't know. John's definitely the underdog, but I think he loves the underdog role. He's done amazing things as an underdog. So he's not out of this, man.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match.
Well, it's almost to the point where Bowen shouldn't even be in the bottom 8 anymore.
I was going to say Bowen. It's like a man amongst boys. I mean, Ryan, we get it. You're a good arm wrestler. Get the fuck out of the way. Like, let the other guys go. But Devin calls you go. I guess. I mean, that's cool.
Well, you're not there because of what you can do on the table. You're there because of what you bring up with your social media.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he's got a huge following.
You want him there. You want certain guys. There isn't Wes Bjornsson in there, and I think like this guy's a fatter, slower, shittier arm wrestling version of Laba. I mean,
all over
WWA.
Man, I watch your comments about Wes Bjornsson. You're all over that guy.
And you know what? And he takes it like a fucking champ. I have tons of respect for that guy because he fucking doesn't turn around and like he takes it. Like he's actually pretty secure for a sloppy fat guy. I give him credit. He's a good guy, but and he's there because of his following. He has a little bit of a social media following, so he's obviously not there because of his arm wrestling ability. Although he's got a little bit of he's got a good press, but I think he's left on it, so I don't know how well he'll fare. But hey, he's a personality. That's all. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike, let's ask you some questions, some dumb questions, some easy ones for you.
I'm
favorite match of all time.
Favorite match of all time. Richard Lupkus, Travis Pagan.
How about involving yourself?
Oh, involving myself. Tim Bresnan, I guess. Tim Bresnan was about 2 days out of the hospital on his deathbed. But we all have like that one match where where you won, you go, holy shit, I just beat a legend. But that was a good one. Who else? There was a couple of good matches. I can't really think of them right now, but that was probably my favorite match.
I thought your match with Grippler really put you on that elite pro, like a solid fucking tier 4 elite pro, no fucking around. Because Grippler was legit. He has huge wins on guys.
He's got a good hook.
I thought that was one of your, and it wasn't that. Like, it went hooking. Like you didn't struggle that much. Like you looked much stronger than he did. I thought that put you on the map as a fucking here to stay elite pro. Like for years, you were in the gym doing stuff, but you really didn't take arm wrestling serious. I think it's only in the last 3 years that you start incorporating more table time and stuff, and I think it shows in your just in what you've accomplished.
Yeah, I'm still like I'm taking advice from guys who are a little bit smarter than me, on the table and stuff, and I take people's criticism and try to work on things. I mean, again, like I've been doing it 11 years. I'm still learning. I'm working on my outside game, so I'm just not just going to hook everybody. My press came a long way. So again, there's always room to learn, and I love this fucking sport, so I'm going to be around for a while.
So if Jamie calls you up in an hour and says, anyone on the roster, take your pick, who is it?
I want to pull that kid from what the fuck is it? From Australia. What's that? Ben something. What the fuck's his name? I can't blank. I'm drawing a blank. Big kid.
Yeah, I pick on him. His last name is funny.
He did really well in Zloty.
You mean like Lachlan Adair, that guy?
No,
he
it's
sucks.
Ben Kuntz.
No, it's Brett. Brett Kuntz.
Brett. Oh, okay.
He wants to pull. He wants to pull somebody else in his weight class. I feel he was calling somebody out the other day.
Okay.
I was like, oh shit, he's got balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Australia sucks. They got no one.
Ben Carroll, that's the name.
Ben Carroll
at the
super strong guy. Yeah.
At the championships that never happened, I think I arm wrestled Ben Carroll.
Yeah. I'd like to arm wrestle. I wanted like Ron Bath to see where I'm at with Ron or Matt again. I'm going to train for Matt, so maybe those two guys.
And there's a question here to ask you who you think wins now, assuming that this match is going to happen pretty early in the season. Michael Todd and Devin Larratt.
I talked to Michael Todd a couple of days ago, actually, on the phone for like an hour. He's coming in like in a whole different like Michael Todd this year. He said he's been training his head. He always trains hard, but he changed up the diet. His whole training routine, and he's on a mission to really just fuck everyone up. So I'm gonna go with Michael. Michael Todd he's the man.
Well,
I think Devin, between just he's been pulling so long. I mean, it's Devin Larratt. He's the fucking greatest of all time. But I think just his body isn't what it is anymore. Like from fucking getting shot in fucking helicopters and fucking jumping out of fucking planes for fucking. I think his body just really just. Not really the same anymore. I don't think it's really. I think he peaked already.
I kind of thought that too, but then I looked at him when he was pulling Wagner, and he just looked so much bigger.
Bad example.
I know that the match itself is a bad example, but the man that showed up looked like he was just bigger, stronger, and healthier.
He was huge. Yeah, he was huge. But because I was there, and I was like, dude, how much do you weigh? He was like almost 280. He was like 270 something that day. I was like, holy shit. He was like so swollen. He was fucking huge, man. Then they pulled the day before Lefty. I was like, what are you doing? They're going at 100%.
Yeah, I thought that.
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I thought that was ridiculous too. And as soon as I saw that, I knew who was going to win the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so did Wagner.
So, yeah,
I think he took Wagner's whole. He was like, oh, shit.
In his eyes, like it was over.
Yeah. He goes, fuck. He's,
Yeah.
Back to the hotel to play with his fucking puppet.
He's actually a nice guy, man. We were
I'm sure he's a great guy.
He doesn't speak English that much, but he's super nice. Super strong guy, man. He fucking his lifts are ridiculous. I think he's got like a 600 bench or something like that. It's like silly.
How much? Okay, let's stop training a little bit. You mentioned bench. How much do you think things like bench press translated into arm wrestling? Because I've got my opinion. Gobby's got his. What do you think?
It does play a role. I mean, especially chest. When you're in a hook, chest plays a huge role. Like it doesn't hurt you. I mean, what's that kid's name? Who trains with Michael Todd from Arkansas? Corey. Dude, he's benching 405 for 20. I'm like, he's a fucking freak of nature, bro. He's a super strong kid, and there's a lot of guys. Look at Chris Chandler. I mean, he's a bodybuilder. He's a super strong guy. You don't want to go inside with him either, but it plays a role. I mean, it's not everything, but
right on. Well. What else you got, Gobby? Because we're at the hour mark. So,
I was gonna say, Knicks, Rangers, or Yankees? Yankees, right? All in New York. Easy.
I'm actually a Met fan. I grew up in Flushing, Queens, in the '80s.
Okay.
Everybody was a Met fan back in the '80s, man. In '86, I was 9, 10 years old. I mean, everybody was everybody was on cocaine. Yeah, it was a fucking great time. I'm still a Met fan. It's sad. It's a horrible thing to watch, but I'm a Giants Mets guy. It's weird. Usually it's Yankees Giants, but I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, Kane Hemsing and I were at the World Police and Fire Games in 2011. Went to a New York Jets game, and we showed up to the We talked to the guy at the hotel, and he said we get us tickets for a couple $100, and then someone else said just show up at the stadium.
They give them to you. Yeah.
Someone who had their head in our cab, scalping us 2 tickets, paid $20. $20
Please
for
come
him.
in, please. Yeah.
We sat
They're
in the
a losing organization. Yeah.
we sat in the very back row of that stadium,
Oh,
the smallest possible seat, but we had a good time.
fucking Jets.
Yeah. Well, Mike, it's been great having you on the show, man. And we appreciate
thanks for having me, man.
And we'll have to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Let me know.
Good luck in the upcoming WAL season. And if I don't see you in WAL at some point, I'll see you at Red Deer.
You got it, brother.
Gabi, anything to close?
Yeah, man. Well, you're going to get news quick from Wall, I hope they give you who you want, and
yeah,
we see who it is, and we can start debating. And but yeah, I'm trying to think of some names, but I hope it's who you want.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
No problem, buddy.
All right, gentlemen.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Take it easy, guys.
Later.